Once one of the most famous attractions in America, today it's almost completely empty. And hidden beneath these waters is a world most people never see. Wild monkeys, ice age giants, and a story that changed Florida forever. Join us at Silver Springs. I've been excited to show Mai this place for a long time, Silver Springs. When I was just a kid, my mom and dad brought my sister and me here, and I never forgot it. So today, we're finally back. But as we pull into the RV parking lot, wait a minute, it's almost empty. Now that's not how I remember it, because for over a century, people have traveled here to see something truly magical. Long before Disney and all the theme parks, before interstate highways, even before Florida became the vacation capital of America, people came here to witness one of the clearest, most beautiful springs on earth. And today, we're about to discover it again. Walking along this old wooden boardwalk beneath towering cypress trees that have been standing here for centuries, memories start flooding back. When I was a kid, this place was packed with people. Back then, Silver Springs was one of Florida's most famous attractions, long before the giant theme parks took over the spotlight. But as the years passed, the crowds slowly faded. Thank God Florida State Parks stepped in, preserving this incredible place so we can still experience its magic today and generations to come.
You can almost feel the history, because just ahead, something truly special is waiting.
The water here is so clear, you can see straight to the bottom. In fact, people were so amazed by it that in 1878, a man named Philip Morrell had an idea. He had Hullum Jones cut a piece of glass into the bottom of a dugout canoe, which allowed tourists to view the crystal clear waters, fish, and underwater springs, turning the area into a major tourist destination.
Good heavens, look at the view, Philip. The springs are magnificent.
It is truly astonishing, Hullum. This invention will revolutionize tourism in Florida.
And just like that, the world's first glass bottom boat tour was born right here at Silver Springs.
These kayakers reminds me of a trip I took years ago with my son Jimmy. He was about 6 years old back then. He's in his 30s now. We launched our boat at Wayside Park and ran the trolling motor 5.5 miles upstream against the steady current. No gas motors are allowed on this river, and that current is stronger than it looks. By the time we finally made it up to the springs, our battery was almost completely drained. Luckily, we drifted with the strong current back to the ramp. Want to try this adventure yourself? Just follow the Google Maps link in the timeline of this chapter in our description below to see the exact route we took.
Then come out and make some unforgettable memories of your own. Today, since Silver Springs became a state park in 2013, visitors can launch kayaks and canoes right at the headwaters for a small fee. But here's the thing, floating downstream is the easy part. Getting back, that current can be a real workout. Still, those are the kind of adventures that turn into great memories.
Look, we're floating on the Silver River.
Wow.
But the story of this river takes an unexpected turn, because somewhere in these trees, a colony of wild monkeys still lives here today.
They were originally released on an island in the 1930s during a Tarzan-style jungle cruise attraction on the Silver River. But the monkeys had other plans. They swam across the river, escaped into the forest, and today their nearly 300 descendants still roam the banks of the Silver River.
The Silver River is home to alligators, turtles, manatees, and many species of fish, and bird life is plentiful. Silver Springs is a first magnitude spring which pumps out over 500 million gallons of water every single day, making it one of the largest artesian springs in the world.
Wow, look at that! Resting quietly beneath the clear waters is an ancient Native American dugout canoe, nearly 20 feet long and carved from a single cypress tree, estimated to be around 600 years old. For centuries, the constant 72-degree spring water and oxygen-poor sediment have helped preserve it, which means this canoe may have carried travelers across these very waters hundreds of years ago. And somehow, it's still here.
Near the dugout canoe, there are remains of two wooden boats. One is a small rowboat, and the other is believed to be one of the original glass-bottom boats from the early 20th century.
Hidden deep beneath the crystal-clear waters of Silver Springs, three mysterious statues have been watching the currents since 1969. Silent guardians resting on the floor of the spring. But these statues weren't placed here for mythology. They're actually leftover props from the 1960s television series I Spy, part of a playful underwater I Spy attraction for visitors riding the park's famous glass-bottom boats.
And Silver Springs has long been a favorite playground for Hollywood. The legendary underwater adventure series Sea Hunt filmed much of its run right here in these crystal waters. The spring also became the haunting underwater world of the classic monster film creature from the Black Lagoon, where the famous gill man silently stalked swimmers through these same shadows. Over the years, cameras returned again and again for Tarzan adventures, James Bond scenes, Rebel Without a Cause, and even an Elvis Presley film. Today, most visitors glide right over this hidden piece of movie history, never realizing these silent figures have been watching the waters of Silver Springs for more than half a century. But if you know where to look, you can still find them.
Everyone loves seeing these gentle giants. Manatees, often called sea cows, are some of Florida's most peaceful and fascinating residents.
Each winter from November through March, they migrate into Florida's springs, drawn by the constant 72-degree water that keeps them warm when the surrounding rivers turn cold. Gliding slowly through the crystal clear water, these massive yet graceful creatures can weigh over 1,000 pounds, yet they move with an almost effortless calm, quietly grazing on underwater plants along the spring bottom. Seeing one in water this clear is truly something special.
Unfortunately, we arrived a little too late in the day this time. Our boat captain told us several had been spotted throughout the day. There's several here at Silver Springs and the Silver River, but that's part of the magic of nature. Sometimes you find them, and sometimes you just have to come back.
Wow, look at that massive one.
It's coming right towards the glass. Are those babies with it? Look, there they are. Oh, wow, they are huge. And they move so slowly.
One place you definitely want to visit here is the Silver River Museum. Unfortunately for us, it's only open from 9 to 4, and we arrived just a little too late this time. But what's inside tells an incredible story.
Long before modern Florida existed, this peaceful spring was surrounded by a wild Ice Age savanna. Columbian mammoths and mastodons roamed these lands. 13-foot ground sloths lumbered through the forest, while saber-toothed cats hunted nearby. Camels, llamas, and even armored glyptodonts once lived here.
Inside the museum, that ancient world comes alive through towering mammoth skeletons, saber-tooth displays, dugout canoes, and Seminole artifacts, connecting Florida's prehistoric past with the people who have lived along these waters. Next time, we'll make sure we arrive before 4 o'clock.
In the 1830s, when the U.S. government demanded the Seminole people leave Florida and move west, Osceola refused. In a moment that became legendary, he drove his knife through the treaty, rejecting the order to give up Seminole land. That act helped ignite the Second Seminole War, one of the longest and most difficult conflicts the United States fought against Native Americans.
With us! Release me! You fight with lies! Secure it!
Osceola was eventually captured through deception during a truce, and while imprisoned in 1837, he sat for the portrait that inspired the famous lithograph we see today. He died in captivity the following year. Today, even the park's glass-bottom boats carry the names of Seminole chiefs, honoring the people whose history is forever connected to these springs.
In the end, they captured the man, but never the spirit. Years ago, visitors could explore a nearby Seminole village where Seminole families shared their culture and traditions with travelers. Though the attraction closed when the state took over the park, the legacy of the Seminole people remains deeply rooted in Silver Springs. Just across from the museum, the Pioneer Village brings another chapter of the past to life. A small 1890s settlement of cabins, schoolhouses, and blacksmith shops that once served Florida's early homesteaders. On select days each year, visitors can step back in time and experience this forgotten frontier.
This retired boat is a monument to Silver Springs' past, replacing the old wooden fleet and a reminder of its 1950s and 60s heyday.
As the sun dips low and the park begins to close, we make our way back, still amazed at how few people are here.
It almost feels like Silver Springs is ours alone, quiet, timeless, and untouched.
And as the light fades through the trees, you can't help but feel it. This isn't just a place you visit, it's a place you experience.
Please watch this
On next!
YouTube picked this one for you.
It's one of our most fun adventures yet. We think you'll love it.
Join us as the journey continues just around the next bend.